Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
Hey everybody, so we're sitting here talking with Celeste Braxton of Braxton's Event Planning and Staffing in the San Antonio area. Hey Celeste, how's it going?
It's good. How are you?
Doing okay. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
We're just doing this kind of thing, all trying to support each other in the industry and all that good stuff. Um, so you really went all in on the event planning industry. You've got a really cool story. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys have going on.
So originally I went to nursing school, became a nurse, and decided that that wasn't the lifestyle for me, and decided to start bartending events and weddings, and just went full throttle with it. People started asking me to plan their weddings, as well as corporate events started reaching out to me, and decided to start a small business that seems to be turning into a big business.
Wow. So that must have been, was that something that you were kind of doing at the same time as nursing? Were you like just kind of had your dipping your toes into event planning, or had you done it in the past, or how did that enter into your mind to like want to make that leap or change?
Well, I was always bartending. I've bartended for about 15 years. And so I was always in that industry and never let it go. And then as I started to get more into it, I started to realize that I had the mindset to where I could remember, a full day's event and keep it running without stressing out. Being a nurse, this was not as stressful as being a nurse. So, and then I ran with it
Yeah.
and did great. So I absolutely love it. It's not work for me. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I guess if there's any like, you know, injuries at the events, you kind of
Yeah,
double agent that. You take
there
care of
you
people too.
there
Um,
you go.
that must have been really difficult though to like have gone to school for nursing and have had committed so much of your time and life to this to entertain the idea of just walking away from it. That must have been a really difficult thing to wrestle with for a while.
Well, yeah, it was because it was just like, what was I thinking? But mentally, I wasn't okay as being a nurse. So I had to kind of think about who was I being at home to my children and my family, you know, at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful motivator for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's when I saw you had posted that or said that I really wanted to figure out kind of what was going on behind that because so many people don't imagine they could walk away from their normal thing or the safe thing and take a chance on something. And I think that's true in the entertainment and event industry a lot. It sounds too good to be true. Like there's got to be a catch somehow, and it's hard work for sure, but it can't be done. So that's an awesome story.
Well, I still have the degree.
Okay, cool. So yeah, exactly. Nobody can say you didn't do it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about the industry a little bit. So, how have you found your events are going? What kind of trends are you seeing in the wedding event industry in your area? Celeste is in the San Antonio area, by the way. How have things been going for you guys?
Well, we're good. I actually started a kind of off in Austin. I do travel a lot to Austin. My sister lives over there. So I noticed that it was a lot bigger in Austin than it was in San Antonio. And I even expanded to Corpus now because my daughter, she who works for me, is going to A&M out there. But
Ah,
I notice like sometimes I worry, like at first when I started this, I would worry that I didn't have anything the next month or what was going to happen. But it seems like people will call within a week and want to book out, and it seems that people will book me out a year in advance. So I notice that the industry is, people want to party. They want to party. And they will pay. It's so funny. It's like you worry about the cost of eggs in a grocery store, but when it comes to a party thing, no money is no problem.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Cool. So you're kind of in all of the Texas region, then you're kind of expanding out and
Yes, I
are willing to travel. Cool. So
willing
are you
to
seeing any
talk.
kind of trends that you're noticing in the event or wedding industry that maybe you didn't see when you started or a year ago?
A lot of
Any
like
changes?
appetizer boards are a big thing. I'm noticing a lot of people are starting to do different things as far as I had an ice cream cart come out there instead of cake. Um, I had like a corn in a cup cart come out there, an ice cream truck came out there. I'm noticing a lot at night. I've done two weddings and it's pretty awesome. Whataburger literally delivered like 200 burgers at the end of the night. So I'm seeing that
That's awesome.
Brides and grooms are really intuitive into their guests and what their guests are going to say at the end of the night.
Right. So less maybe trying to have the classic, traditional, fancy, sort of opulent three-course experience and more just everybody having a party with their friends and family and kind of
Yeah.
just being willing to call it that and not have to sort of hit some sort of traditional target.
Yeah, yeah. The sit down dinners are kind of like cliche, I seems. They want something different, something edgy, So I'm noticing that there's a lot of different things. Robots are now, I'm doing quinceañeras and corporate events too. So robots are now a thing where they come for an hour and they dance with the crowd to kind of hype the crowd up. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Robots?
Robots. It's I'll have to send you a link at some point, but it's really
Yeah, please
awesome.
do.
It's and bobbleheads. I have had a couple of Bad Bunny bobbleheads come to these parties to just dance in the middle of the crowd. And the robots are pretty insane. They're on stilts. They're huge. They're awesome.
What?
Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
pretty
I've seen the
pretty though.
bobbleheads and I've seen different things, but I've never seen a robot. So the robot's sole purpose is to dance.
The robot is their fee is only for an hour, and they come out there during probably like 9, 10 o'clock at night. They come way later in the party, and just to rehype the crowd, they give out like balloons and glow sticks, and they just dance for an hour on stilts with the crowd.
That's crazy. Yeah, you have to send me a link to that for sure.
Super fun, super fun.
Um, cool. Yeah, for people who are definitely looking for to break away from more traditional things as well. I think that's uh, a big part of what we do as well. You know, dueling pianos is kind of a nice third option. People like DJ, okay, band, okay, dueling pianos can be a lot of fun. So
Yeah,
we find ourselves at a lot of those I won't say edgy, but alternative weddings where the couples are looking for more, something different. So
for sure.
I definitely agree with you that trend you're mentioning. Okay, cool. So what are some things that you would say that couples should never do, like cringeworthy things that you hate seeing at your events? And you can't say anything, I'm sure, maybe, but if you could name
Um,
some stuff.
you know, I would say not to get plastered on your wedding. A lot of couples do end up. I've been to a couple weddings where they do, and they know because I talk to them. I'm like, oh my god, here I am running with my liquid IV to go help them out. But another
Oh
big thing,
no.
yeah, another big thing that I always tell couples not to do is to take a big gap in between your ceremony and your wedding, because all that and what they do is since there's such a big gap is they start drinking early. And then if you're drinking from 3 o'clock until midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, it's your crowd is done, you're done. And so that's a big thing like that I've seen is just the over intoxication part of it.
Yeah, especially if we're in the Texas heat
Mm.
seasons, you know what I mean? I can only imagine being that decked out, drinking all day, being out in the heat. Yeah, so I know what you mean for sure. So maybe lay off the sauce a little bit, or at
Lay
least
off the
pace yourself,
sauce
or drink
and
water.
yeah, and don't go bankrupt over this. Don't go bankrupt over your day. Not everybody needs a day of coordinator. Not everybody needs this full blown out thing. So I get it. This is our industry, but don't break your bank, just to have a good time. It's all about just, if this is your day, this is your day. That's what I tell everybody. I don't expect everybody to hire me. I expect you to have a good time and not stress yourself out.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great approach. I'm sure people appreciate that. Um, okay, cool. So let me ask you, what is your favorite part of a wedding day?
Of a wedding day. Actually, it's going to be probably the end of it when I take a deep breath and I look at everything. Um, and I was able to manage without falling or anything. It's the next day I'm hurting for sure with 20 something thousand steps,
Ooh,
sometimes 30. But yeah, I think it's just looking back and seeing my bride and groom have a good time. Seeing actually the parents is a big thing because a lot of times people are like, what is a day of coordinator for? And at the end of the day, when I see them and they're like, oh, you were such a big help. Thank you so much. I think that's a sigh of relief, that they don't regret the decision to hire me.
yes, absolutely. That's anytime I know that we play, especially a large production wedding, the first person I look for is you,
Yeah.
because I know that you're going to actually have the answers and actually know what's going on.
Yes,
And whenever there's not a you, which is oftentimes, it can be a little stressful for everybody else involved. So yeah, you definitely are the glue or the backbone of the whole thing. So
for sure.
um, okay, cool. So let me think. What's the most? like unique and fun idea that you've ever seen, or maybe not ever, either ever or at a recent wedding or event that you've done. Although I don't know if you can top robots or
I
200
think that's
Whataburger
it. I
deliveries,
honestly
but
think
yeah.
I think it was honestly the robots. I'm gonna go with the robots because it's such a hype crowd. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the robots for sure. The robots is I was so sad. I had one wedding where we hired these fairies to do this dance. They thought it was going to be really cool for these fairies to be in this dance. And guests didn't like it. It was not something, and I felt bad. So I thought that would have been cool because we had them on rollerblades in the middle of the dance floor, and so that was not something that they didn't like. And so robots for sure. I'm gonna go with
Was that
number.
was that their idea? Like they had
Yeah,
this idea, they wanted this fairy
yeah,
choreography.
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that sounds like it could be cool. But okay, just to be clear, because I just can't get over this. When you say robots, you mean literal mechanical dancing machines on stilts.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
I will
I
send
just
you.
had to clarify
I'll
because I
even
just
shout them out. DJZ Events Group is the one. They are
DJZ
booked.
Events Group.
JJZ Events Group. They are booked fully with just this. Just for robots, and it is. It's honestly fun. I have so much fun because I don't know. It's just like this
Yeah, it
huge
sounds
life
cool.
size robot. Yeah.
Is it like what is like liability and insurance issues? That's what I'm thinking of. Like, do they have to sign some sort of waiver? Like, if my robot steps on you or your family members? I don't
I
know.
don't even know. I
Sounds
think they
crazy.
have insurance because they're everything's metal. So like on the dance floors, they can't mess up the dance floors either. So
Yeah.
yeah, and they're
Wow.
on stilts. So I can imagine how scary that is. And they're inside of this suit. I remember seeing the guy get ready before he went in, and he was in this huge suit and he was sweating profusely. So it was just like I'm sure for a whole hour
Gotcha. That's crazy. Okay, so that's the part I was missing then. There's a human being inside or involved.
inside of the robot. Yeah,
Okay. See, I was thinking it's just like I'm thinking like those weird like, dog robots that you see and like
we have
the
like
the videos
AIs.
you see on TikTok. Yeah, I was like they just have like, the iRobot guy up in there. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I knew I was
Yeah,
missing something. There's no way. It still sounds crazy though. I still want to go check that out.
yeah,
Um,
for sure.
okay. Okay, so tell us about what makes your service unique. What would you say makes you kind of stand out? What's your trademark or your your stamp on things?
Um, I don't know. It could have been the fact that I was a nurse and I have like this really kind heart. I'm not trying to like blow myself up, but I just know who I am. And a lot of times at the end of
Sure.
the day, a lot of these people always tell me is like that I seem to them more like a best friend than I was their wedding coordinator. And they can text me with any type of issue or drama that they're having, and I'll be a listening ear as best as I can. And so I think that's where the rapport comes, is to where I have a bride literally texting me 7 months later asking me questions. So I think I go into this as a friend more sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard other planners say similar sort of things that it's difficult to spend so much time with somebody leading up to this event and afterwards it's kind of like, you know, it reminds me of you know, you're like your child going off to work or something,
Yeah.
students I've worked with where I teach them for years and years and then move up to college, teach music as well. You know, yeah, that's gotta be a difficult thing for all that to just end all of a sudden. So I can see if you really make that connection, that you maintain a relationship. Family, would you say you make friends? I mean, do you have friends that
Oh,
you've held on to for?
I have so many repeat customers. I have so many referrals. Like it's just so I stopped advertising a year ago, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, so it's good. I get to re-see these people over and over, or even just chat with them and ask them how's life. So
That's awesome. Cool. Well, that's kind of real human community connection, that I love about this industry. It really brings people together in like a meaningful way. You know, it's not just surface level.
yeah,
There's a lot of surface level stuff that you have to organize and plan and all the details, but the connection and the source of it is really personal for sure.
yeah.
Okay, great. So you mentioned your staff before the session. So tell me about them. What did you want to shout out? What do
Well,
you got
no,
going on with your staff?
well, the staff is like a big thing for me because I noticed like I didn't go into the route of I wanted to work with regular servers and regular bartenders in the industry. And I went with like, mothers that needed like extra income or dads that needed to come up with whatever. And so I have lawyers working for me and CEOs and realtors and stuff like that, as well as I have my kids working for me. But I just thought it was always like, you know, our the people that I have working for me aren't just here to go to the next bar and get the next drink. Like it's just real life stuff out here going on, and I'm here to help you out if you need some extra money.
That's fantastic. So that's more of that community kind of building
Yeah,
stuff, and there's so much opportunity I think in this industry to give back to whether it's your staff, your clients, or to each other,
yeah.
other people in the industry, even different sectors. So that's beautiful. I love that. That's really cool. So let's think, any advice that you could give to somebody that is just starting out? So it sounds like you've had quite the arc. How long have you been doing this, by the way? How long
About
ago did you quit your
a year and a half,
a year and a half? Wow. Okay. So you're into it, but it's still relatively
relatively.
fresh
Yeah,
to be doing it full time.
yeah.
Okay. So if you could go back and give yourself advice, to somebody just starting your planning journey, they're thinking about doing it full time, maybe like you were. I don't think there's maybe quite as many people that are full-time nurses about to jump into event planning, but maybe they're out there. But anybody that was about to start their journey, what advice could you offer them?
Don't think twice, just do it. Don't think twice. I think and not to lie, I had my balloon artist or my balloon girl who recently she was talking to me about it, and she was working a corporate job, and she decided to quit her corporate job to do this full time, and she's booming down here in San Antonio. Like it's just incredible. And she thought about it and thought about it, and I said don't think about it, just do it. If mentally you're not happy, like what's it worth for us at a job that's killing us? Like so, and now she's doing great. So don't think about it. And like I said, I can, if I fail out here, I can be right back in the hospital tomorrow. So,
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's not to be cliche, but it's what's that old saying? You miss 100% of the shot, 100% of the shots you don't take, or whatever. Kind of cheesy, but it's true.
no, and
At
actually,
least try
yeah,
it out.
yeah.
The world won't end if you take a risk. So great, cool. So what's the future look like for you guys? Where do you see yourself heading? In a year, 5 years?
I'm hoping bigger. I'm adding a photo booth to my, company. So I'm buying more, I'm buying more supplies to add to this so that I can be full service decor as well. So I'm hoping to kind of be set up in Corpus full time next year as well. And more in Austin, and sometimes I really hope to do a destination wedding. If somebody would just take me to Cancun with them. That's my goal.
It'll happen for you, I'm sure.
Oh, thank you. I hope so.
Um, yeah. Okay, cool. So let's get into some like the logistics if anybody might be interested in hiring you or getting just more of an insight into how things work. So what does your availability and flexibility look like? You said you're pretty booked out.
So I'm pretty booked out in regards to day of coordination. Like I said, I do have, people that work on the long side of me. So I have openings for servers. I have plenty of openings for bartenders to book for that. If you need any staffing for sure, I got you on that. So plenty of people. I have a website, an Instagram, and a TikTok. I try my best in every wedding to get a video, but sometimes I'm completely busy and I don't get it, but so
Of
that
course.
people can kind of see the work that comes together and what I'm doing, and how my staff is having fun as well. So um but yeah, they can always reach out to me, text or email, and I'll always get back to them. And if I can't do it, I'll always refer them to somebody else, like that I trust, because it's a big thing working
Yeah.
in this industry. We know who not to refer out to and who we should.
Yeah. And that's a big part of why we're doing this is to try to find like-minded people and kind of strengthen a network and a community together.
Yeah,
Because there's more than enough sort of work for everybody. So
yeah,
I think that's a beautiful thing that you kind of help people out in the same way.
yeah.
Okay, so what about pricing and payment? What do your deposit amounts look like? What does your cancellation policy look like?
So pricing is due for the event. If you're just hiring for staff, then that's not due until the day of or the week of, depending on how big it is. And then in regards to me, I always just collect a $200 deposit up front, and then I collect the rest the day of. Um,
Okay.
for people that have booked me out a year in advance, I'm not even going to charge them deposit until 6 months in advance, because I believe that things happen. And, I'm not going to keep your money if you decide to cancel your wedding, in a year. So,
Right.
but after 6 months, I know I'm doing a lot of the work. I'm communicating a lot, so I will collect a deposit. And I am on the lower
Sure.
end right now. I know I'm only charging $800 for day of coordination. So, I don't see my prices going up right now. I know a lot of people are telling me I should, but it's just not in my heart right now. I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Well, your business and your sort of
Yeah.
motivations better than anybody else. So, awesome. Okay. So on the planning side of things, who would be the main point of contact prior to that? I'm guessing it would be you. Do you have people that you work with, or any sort of managers or people that you trust to kind of lead the operation underneath you or alongside you?
So right now it's just basically me. My daughter does do a lot of the unders. She's like the junior one of mine. And then I do have a couple other people that if anything happens, they are who I do give it to. But so far I'm in charge of the scheduling, the planning, the marketing, invoicing, everything. I am Braxton event planning. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Cool. So you're super involved in the planning process. So
I am
somebody
involved.
reaches out to you to book you or to get some information, it's going to be you that they're talking to, not some random other person.
Yeah, no. It's just on me.
Cool. All right. So do you have any vendors that you already mentioned a couple, but are there any preferred vendors that you recommend?
I
I know you
always
mentioned
recommend.
the robots.
Yeah, the robots. I always do recommend Megan Wilkinson. Her company is called Wedding Whisperer, and she's actually who she gave me one of my first events, and she was like another wedding planner that couldn't do it, and she referred me, and she said community over competition. That's what she taught me. She's always one that I refer out to. But of course, there's so many names I go with. I work with Nazario Photography, and Jared Fierce Catering is top notch catering that I work with. But I mean, it's just all like in your idea of what you want. If you want barbecue, I can point you in the right direction of barbecue. If you want this. So I do work with my preferred vendors, and I do request that they be there, but I'm not going to choose for you. I get it.
Just so you don't require people to use preferred vendors or anything like that.
No, I don't require them. I mean, if they can, sometimes they can't afford them, and I understand, but I just know who's going to show up to work on time and who's not. So that's why I like preferred vendors.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, that's the community over competition. I love that. I never heard that before, but that's really powerful for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you guys want to go check out Braxton Event Planning, you can go on Instagram. It's at Braxton Event Planning. On TikTok, it's at Braxton Event Planning. We'll include all those handles and information in our posts and everything like that. Have anything else you'd like to add? Kind of a
No,
sign
I
off?
thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. It's been a whirlwind of a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll talk about after this as well, because I'd love to get some of those people you trust and
Okay.
community over competition kind of concept you're talking about. Sounds great.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. Once again, anyone listening, we'll have all of Braxton, her businesses info listed in the episode. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.